Catwoman! Catwoman! Oh, Lord. Ooh. Catwoman, it's almost time for the show.
Oh, I was just revisiting my earlier Melville thesis and was trying to recreate the scene.
Oh, did they have a lot of drunk cats in Moby Dick?
No, alas, my Russian translation project has been shelved by the publisher until Russia is no longer a threat on the world stage.
Well, not to worry. I'm sure Vladimir Putin will soon find love in his heart and come capering out on the Kremlin in a sundress. Now, I'm sure you're able to function for this evening's show.
Oh, may we? Surrender, are those polka dots I'm seeing?
Yes, they are. I decided during our little break that I would actually take a couple of days off and leave Chi-Chi in control of hair, costume, and set design. That was my first mistake. Now I look like Phyllis Diller got her own game show and is about to call some lucky hussy up out of the audience to spin the wheel and win a year's supply of rice-a-roni.
Oh, yes, my mother had a similar presentation when she sang folk songs on the Lawrence Welk show.
Oh, God.
I remember so well her excitement over singing the current classics of the time to a national audience. Put the butter in a bowl on the shelf, and who's been feeding cornbread to Delilah?
What a shame those days are gone.
Well, I assume this is the outfit I am to be wearing according to Chi-Chi's instructions.
If that's what she said, it is. Yeah, because there's only room for one of us to look like we're on the set of Dynasty about to knock Joan Collins into a glass cabinet. Henri!
Yeah?
Hon, have those three toked up flunkies in that mangy hound found their way to the new set yet?
Oh, yeah. Chi-Chi spread out a buffet on the set an hour ago.
And by buffet, do we mean 3 bowls of ganja?
I guess. And Chi-Chi said to tell you look very nice.
I look like I'm about to roast Dean Martin. All right, everybody, let's go. Come on. Come on, Catwoman. Let's hustle. Left, right, That'll get you there. Come on.
Je suis en route, Surrender.
It's the Dragonsail Puppets variety show, starring Surrender, Bruce, Catatonia, and Henri, featuring the Dragonsail Puppets band. Anchors away.
Well, here we are, my lovelies, balancing jet lag with boat lag, just to give you all of our sweetness. Yeah, we took a little break from the open seas to record our latest double album masterpiece in our old stomping grounds. And since Surrender came into some money after suing Georgia Hot Flash's her benefactor, for smuggling explosives onto our boat, see episode 19 for details. She decided finally to move out of her bedbug breeding hole apartment and into a bright red little hobbit house that's simply adorable. And it'll be a little place for Georgia to stay in while I'm on tour and while she's recovering from another dream dashed. Oh, I done told the hussy, your meal ticket nearly got us all blown sky high on the open seas. He's in jail. I sued him for everything I could get out of him. There's nothing left for you there, girl. A chapter has closed. The sonnet is sung. They done ate all the wheat. Oh, Georgia's not good on her own, y'all. Or with anyone else for that matter. Now, Georgia has to be kept. You know, like in a zoo where they can feed a hussy pellets and hose it down once a day. Oh, so during our downtime, I did let her accompany me to Velveeta Flames' latest wedding ceremony. Lord, don't get me started on it. See, I figured I'd just put all my hussies together on one day, call it for the disaster it was, and have it done. Okay. First, Georgia comes by to pick us up for dinner before Velveeta's wedding at the mortuary chapel. Once there, she spends all her time rubbing those chunky legs and complaining about her hose. In her car, she hands me a hand-drawn child's map and tells me to guide her along. Guide her to what? Buried treasure in the middle of Sesame Street? I decided instead to open up my phone because it turns out those devices have little maps in them now. And I got us to the restaurant, and not a moment too soon, because that child of the storm had hitched her skirt up all the way to Sunday morning so she could rub her chunky legs and adjust her holes all the way down there. Then at the restaurant, her meal went mostly neglected, a sight I never thought I'd see, because she spent most of her time in the bathroom. I prayed, please, Lord, God, let her take those hose off, but no, she was just sitting there, rubbing her legs. Rub and adjust, rub and adjust. Now at the cemetery, she had to hold on to my arm because she could barely walk and her circulation was cut off. But as you can see in this picture, she did manage to catch the bouquet. That thing was threatening to land right at me, but I was able to swat it away with my fist. Then, after an overwrought 2-hour ceremony, do you take this fool to be your lawfully wedded burden for the next 3 months? That sort of thing. We finally make our way home. After Georgia was weaving and careening through traffic, tugging and bitching all the way. Then, at my house, she calls little Miss Petri Dish. Says she'll be over as soon as she can, but she would probably be taking her hose off on the drive down. Oh, and I just lost it. I told her hussy, please just take your hose off in the kitchen and have it done. Then she says to me, oh, Surrender, I didn't know you were so obsessed with my legs. Let's talk about it tomorrow and see if this is something you really want. Then I just threw that hussy out of my house of God. Now, on a less stressful note, the Dragonsail Puppets did find the time to perform for the prisoners at the Manhattan Detention Complex. Yeah, Johnny Cash did it, the Partridge Family did it, now we've done it. Well, thank you all for breaking the social contract to be with us all tonight.
And thank you for your service to our great nation.
Now let's hitch those skirts up and get ready for the rest of the episode, shall we? I'll see you on the other side.
Not again! Why do I have to be tied to this chair, Dealey? I can't reach my coffee.
Because I'm trying to show how this product is the perfect accent for a day full of grace and soft colors. And every move you make leaves scattered ceramic ware and soaked linens in your wretched wake. Now they said it's your turn to do a commercial, dog, so you're gonna sit there quietly while I chat politely over subtle aromatic flavors of cinnamon and peach. You hear me?
How do we find an earthly paradise? By joining with friends over a hot steaming cup of Ahoy Mateys coffee and tea assortment.
Did you have a lovely time with your mother during summer holiday?
Yeah, the dump was closed and all the trash was piled in the garage and it was stinky.
For God's sake, Bruce, why can't one of your stories not involve a bad smell? Didn't you have any flowers blooming or something?
Oh yeah, the neighbor had those white trash daylilies blooming.
Oh, how lovely.
The daylily bed is a fun place for us all to go poopy.
Ah, but you don't, because you're too busy enjoying the subtle pastel shadings of life over nuanced flavors. Are you not?
Yeah.
No power tools today. No freaks in trench coats peeking through the blinds. Just you and your friends, enjoying the sweet and sassy cornucopia in every flavorful bag of Ahoy Mateys coffee and tea assortment.
I don't like this shirt, it's itchy.
Well, none of us like having to fit into Chi-Chi's fancy drag queen blue and white aesthetic, but we have to get through this show. Lord, can I not have 2 days off without the world crashing down around my feet?
I don't know.
I mean, at least you don't look like Phyllis Diller and Joan Collins all jammed together in the same body trying to recruit housewives to sell Sarah Coventry.
I didn't understand any of that sentence. What's it say? What's it say?
It says, Surrender delivered an exceptional tour de force at the Manhattan Detention Complex. She is a siren that can't be tamed or controlled or endured for long stretches.
Yeah, but what about me?
Oh, it says Henri did a great job playing the shaker and pots and pans and slop jars from the mess hall.
Yeah. Me. What about me?
Oh, let's see. Bruce gave us disco biscuits before the world was ready.
Yeah.
He seeks only to heal the world with chickens and bunnies. He is the best singer who wins all the blue ribbon deals. Well, that's one way to get good press.
Yeah, I sent out the same review to Rolling Stone.
Doesn't Surrender get suspicious?
Nah, she only reads the parts about herself.
Did you send them this picture for the press release?
I did indeed. Well, it was better than the one Chi-Chi wanted them to use. See?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Hey, the one I sent of you was pretty nice.
Well, it's a little old.
And the one of Catatonia was good.
Yeah, but that was back in her professor days. Oh, no. I sure hope Surrender doesn't see this article. It's not good.
Yeah, well, I thought it was fun performing in the Slammer. We should do the prison circuit.
Wow.
It reminded me of being back home.
What, sleeping in a jail cell?
Well, yeah, you know, the crate.
You sleep in a crate?
Well, yeah, don't you?
No, I sleep on a shaggy blanket with a yellow fish pillow on the love seat.
Well, la-di-da.
Maybe they're trying to give you parameters for your own safety.
Nah,
And to keep you out of the toilet and the trash compact.
I only did that once, well, twice, 10 times.
Hey, what's it like doing an Ahoy Mateys commercial?
Well, you have to be ready for it, mind you. You have to have done the work. You can't expect to just go sashaying through life with nary a care.
Did they tie your paws behind you to the chair?
Yeah, which was rude. I should check with the union dealie.
Surrender doesn't allow us to join a union.
Did someone say union? Did someone actually say that word?
No.
I didn't think so. Y'all wrap it up.
Okay. Now we're going to sing a pretty song.
And heal the world with bunnies.
Seas from away. Drop your plans. Leave it to circumstance. Tiny accumulate to create the great. You'll be done by tomorrow. The great give way. Impressions in clay. Stars rupture and pieces spray. Suddenness is consistent. What it manifests is openness and new greatness from pieces pressed. What has that to do with you? Clutching feathers, holding it all together while giving way. Pieces drop, demands spoken in the tone of prayer. For the great to repair, the tiny to spinning. What have they for you? Work of a star, visible wings setting far. Will be done by tomorrow. Silence explodes far away. Here today, heavy weight has been dragged through the snow. Musical wind plays the reeds. Great wheel, open storm on the keys. Long and dipping, leaning light. Driving rain. Wonder how much of this pain should be embraced, and when should be flight, ranging wide and span. The crafting hand wants to sigh, drawing between the points of light.
Thank you all for traveling back in time with us to a land populated by drag queens with a retro TV obsession. Lord. We will be back soon with much better aesthetics next time. But for now, we want to thank Colourful Energy for once again gracing our show. And for all the convicts beyond our reach, we hope to sail to your holding cells soon. But for now, remember the timeless words of Shirley Partridge. In some real way, we're all prisoners. So y'all go forth and live in life. Oh, suck it up, hussies!
Serinda's gowns, courtesy of the Pinch My Penny Markdown Rack. Wardrobe consultation by Chi-Chi's Productions. Personal assistant to Serinda, also that drag queen from Guatemala. Special promotional consideration by Georgia Hot Flash. Serinda's fragrance, Honeysuckle Passion. Now the preferred fragrance of the embalming team at the Still Waters Mortuary Chapel.
Oh,